Hey everybody, wanted to say hello. That's actually not what I wanted to say. I wanted to say a couple things about the class. I want to say that this is a real class. That not every time that you write a check for tuition, you're not always going to get a real class in exchange. And this isn't just true for online courses. This is true for all courses. Sometimes, professors are kind of done teaching, and so they pretend to teach. They give everybody A's, and students pretend to learn, and it's an arrangement that works for some, and that's not how it's going to be in this class. I don't take pleasure in being a hard A. I don't think I am, but I do have expectations, and among those expectations, and this does not apply to most of you, but I expect you to have done the readings when you take the quizzes. That seems to be a reasonable expectation. That's on the quiz side of things. On the summary and analysis paper, those have also been pretty good for the most part. I want to offer you maybe a way to think about those. So imagine that you're a manager at a small business, and say that you get the quarterly earnings report, or maybe some consumer research data, and the management team of which you're a part, you're gonna meet and talk about those. Now, it's possible that you could say nothing in those meetings, but of course that's not really the way to advance one's career. What management, your bosses and managers and owners would like to see is for you to add value to the data that's already there, to see something that other people don't see, and to say something, to add value by virtue of your unique values or perspectives or experience. That's a way to stand out. And I'd like you to think about the readings in that way. I'd like you to say something interesting, right, and useful. Add value to the readings by virtue of your perspective. So, for instance, when writing about the Curmudgeon's Guide, one person mentioned that Charles Murray thought internships were a bad idea, and he said, "I did an internship. These were my responsibilities. This is what I learned." That's the kind of thing that adds value. It's unique to that student's perspective, and it helped me appreciate the topic of internships better. It added value by virtue of his unique perspective. Somebody was talking about the recent slide in the stock market and referenced the 10 biggest lies. Those are things, so that student saw something that other students didn't see and incorporated that. Now, of course, that would be part of the analysis rather than the summaries. Most of your summaries should be relatively similar in content. It's the analysis that's where your unique perspective will be most beneficial. Another thing I want to talk about is individual differences and what that means. So when you're considering hiring somebody, you choose one person over another. Why do you do that? And the answer is individual differences. People differ in terms of their intelligence, in terms of their experience, in terms of their attitude, and in terms of a lot of things relative to job performance. And so individual differences and hiring are very closely related topics. So you've been asked to read about Mutual of Omaha and the extreme hiring. That's kind of the way that hiring is moving. It's going to more analytic and more testing. The definitive guide to hiring, that's a way to kind of give you it's a good blueprint for thinking about making hiring choices and personnel choices. And then the article on general mental ability, that's one that should help you. That's just that's an underappreciated variable that people often don't think about when making hiring decisions. So that's how individual differences, that topic, fits with these individual readings. And that's all the content really I had for this video. I promised you I would keep them short and with the hopes that I would get more people to watch them. I think 2/3 of the class watched the last video, which isn't terrible. I can't tell individually who watches. I just look at the number of views relative to the number in the class. Anyway, that's not important. The important thing is this: you watch this, and if you send me a message in Canvas, please don't email it. Send this one in Canvas and say, I found the green Easter egg that will be worth some kind of point or something. So, and this, by the way, this offer expires. I can't have a flood of these coming in the last week. So you got about a week to message that to me. Why put it off? Just send it right now. That's right. Click on the video. We're done here.